Up on the workbench tonight I have a Yamaha natural sound stereo amplifier model CA600. It has a couple of different problems. One, it has a problem with the channel cutting in and out, and it also snaps, crackles, and pops. This should be an interesting one. Stay tuned. Okay, I got the unit hooked up now. Make sure everything's turned down to minimum here so I don't get blown out. Auxiliary 1, what I'm plugged into, power on. Okay, heard a click. Oh, right channel cutout. Right channel's back. Right channel's cut out. Now it's back. Okay, right channel cut out when I turn up the bass. We switch to, where's the balance on this thing? Here it is. See, the right channel's almost gone out completely. I turn it off, turn it back on. Okay, I think we've got, first of all, we've got a couple problems with this thing. One, the controls are very dirty, but I think the reason that we're losing the sound on the right channel is probably the speaker protection relay. The contacts in it are either pitted or it's come unsoldered from the board, and it just cuts the signal out. So let's pull the top off this thing and take a look at the build on this thing and see what we can do on this. This is actually a client's amplifier, a client that brings me a lot of his stuff. You've seen many of his products on my channel, like the Leak Delta 70, I think it was, and the Haflers and the Ross. These are all the same collector. So he brings me his units whenever he has a problem with them. So this is one that we're going to definitely be repairing. And let's get the top off this one and we'll take a look and see what's causing it. But I think we're up against either bad connections, and for sure we've got some dirty controls on this thing that we will be cleaning with proper contact cleaner. So these units, the actual unit slides out of the cabinet. So we just remove the 4 big screws from the bottom, and the whole unit should pop out from the front. Okay, remember the relay I was talking about? That's the speaker relay. Let's turn the power back on here and we'll just give this thing a tap. So there's the right channel, not working, not sounding very good at all. We'll just give this relay a tap. So we either have a connection problem or the relay itself, the contacts are bad. So we can check the relay connection. Well, actually we can't easily because it's underneath here. So I guess I can remove this board that the relay is on so that we can check the soldered on connections below it and see whether they are the issue. The problem here is either going to be the connections where the relay is soldered down to the board, or the contacts on the relay itself. So we lift this up like that. We can now see the bottom here and inspect inspect the solder connections, which I think they're probably going to be okay. It's going to be the contacts themselves that need to be cleaned on this thing. Well, the solder connections here don't look to be too bad. I don't see anything cracked around them. I am going to reflow them, and then we'll pop the top off the relay. We're going to pop the top off this relay now. This is not one of these sealed relays. This one's open to the elements. So what happens in these relays is you get oxidation of the contacts in here. So what we're going to do in this is I'm going to take the relay apart and I'm going to actually polish up the contacts here and clean them up and polish them up. So to do that, we're going to remove the spring. Like that. Spring where I won't lose it. We're going to actually lift the contacts off the top here, and here's oh, well, here's our problem right here. Take a look at this. This contact is actually broken. The plastic is actually broken. Well, that would explain why it's not making a good solid connection. There's not enough tension. So we're going to have to try and repair this plastic, either that or replace the relay. And I guess replacing the relay is an option, but let's try first of all and glue this contact back in place. Looks like the plastic might be cracked. Yes, it is. You can see it. Right, here's the problem with this relay. The plastic that holds the contact in place is cracked, so I might be able to glue that back in place. Okay, in an attempt to repair this contact on this relay, putting some epoxy into the gap here where it's broken. We'll see if we can stick the piece back together. So now I'm going to let this set up here for a few minutes. I've just put this is some JB Weld I've just put on here. We might put a little more around the edges there just to try and secure it. I've had very good luck gluing parts back together with JB Weld over the years. Okay, we're going to let it sit there and set up for a while. And then we'll try and reassemble this relay and see whether it works. My bet is that it will. And it'll work just fine. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to try and find a replacement. I went through my junk box of old parts. I don't have a relay the same as this. I've got some 4-pole relays that probably would work, but they wouldn't be able to be mounted to the board. I'd have to actually mount them separately because they have a different pin out on them. They're a what they call them, quad pole double throw. This is the double pole double throw. So we'll let this thing set up here for a bit and put it back together and see if this fixes the problem with the relay cutting out. And I bet it will fix it. I'm 99.9% sure that that's going to fix this problem. Okay, this has been drying for a while now. It should be good. Excellent. So we're going to polish up these contacts a bit. Okay, I'm going to use some 100% Deoxit D100L. This is the 100% concentrated cleaner. And this will get rid of any corrosion that may be still on these contacts. We'll do the same for the contacts down here on the relay itself, on the base of the relay. I think there was some corrosion on that contact and some oxidation? I think there probably was. Okay, we're going to put the relay back together. I'm going to put another drop of this stuff on the actual contacts once I get the relay back together. This should keep them clean. And then we'll test it. So, put the relay back together, and we'll just put that spring back on. There we go. Now we can reconnect the wires. That's the volume control. No more cutting out. There's the right channel, that was the one that was cutting out before. Left channel. Now we got to clean this noisy volume control. For that, we're going to use Deoxit D5 with the Perfect Straw extension. That's this stuff. That way I can get right into the controls here and give them a good wash. This is a 4-way control, so I've only done 2 of them so far. There we go. Yeah, we're going to do the rest of the controls while we're at it, because there's no point in doing just one of them. We'll do the volume and the balance control, sorry, I've done the balance control. I've done the volume and balance. Do the bass and treble controls on the switches over here as well. That switch sounds dirty too, so we'll do that switch. The speaker switch as well. That's this rotary switch right here. And we'll do the rest of the switches while we're at it. So we'll do the tape monitor switch. The mode switch. This is the tape monitor switch. Well, that switch is underneath here. Can't get at that one until I turn it over. But there are 3 more switches back here that I can get to. That one's the low pass filter. This one's the high pass filter. This is the muting switch. loudness control, I'm going to get to that too, which it is right down underneath here. The nice thing about this long perfect straw is it makes it easy to get into really tight to reach areas. Cover to get at the tape monitor and function switches. Just going to kill the power while I do this. I don't need something dropping into the live circuits while I open this thing up. So I'm going to have to remove this whole board in order to clean these switches because of the design of this thing. As you can see, they didn't think this one through, but I gotta clean these switches because they are dirty. So if I just turn the switches down like that, I can get into the access hole here and spray them down. While I'm at it, it's probably not a bad idea to put a little bit of the D100 contact cleaner onto all these pins at the back here, just to maintain a good clean connection when I put it back together. So we'll get the D100 out. Should have been using this one as my entry video for the contest, although the contest was over before I got this in for repair. This would be a great one though, because there's a lot of controls on here that need to be cleaned, and this is a high-end amplifier. Nice unit, really nice unit. It's a Class B, so it's a push-pull, but it's just two big transistors per channel. Here's your one channel board. Here's your left channel. Here's your right channel amplifier. This is one of the preamp boards here. So we're just going to put some D100 cleaner. I'm just going to put it into each of these pins at the back here. Put a drop into each one of these. That way, when I put the board back in, they will clean the connection point. So now we'll just reinstall the board. And I'll do the same on this one here. Plug that back in. Put the screws back in. I didn't even need to remove these screws entirely. I didn't realize that, but these here, they're slotted, so you can take the board out by just loosening the screws, just like the top panel. Now I just have to align the switches, push them back together. So I've turned all the switches all the way to the left. So line it up, pull the switch back together, just like that. Same for this one. Move this one down to the tape or the auxiliary 2 position, line it up, and push it back together. Auxiliary 1, tuner, phono 1, phono 2, and moving coil. There we go. Push those back together. Slide the top back on. Perfect. Well, what the heck's that? Sounds like the phono preamp. It's noisy. I did hear some noise when I had the unit in phono position, like the phono preamp. That's got a problem. See what I mean? Fine on the auxiliary and tuner inputs, but I go to the phono preamp, which is underneath here, and it's noisy. So I'm thinking we got to take this apart again. And take a look at this preamp board and see where all that noise is coming from. It almost sounds like there's a transistor that's going bad in this thing, or a cap, one of the two. Anyway, let's get the scope turned on and see whether we can spot where that noise is coming from. I got the board out here as well. I'm just going to give the back of these switches another little shot back here to make sure that that cleaner got all the way into the switch. So we'll give the switches another shot at the back here. We'll check these capacitors here in the preamp stage and see if the ESR is increased on them. They look to be pretty old. Okay, both these capacitors are both 47 to 35 volts. So we are measuring up at 1.3 and 1.3. They look about the same. New capacitor should be 0.068 for a low ESR capacitor. So we're a little bit up. Maybe we'll change those while I'm at it. I think I probably have a couple of those 47 at 35 volts. It's either that or a transistor that's going bad on here, but we'll change those out first and see if that makes a difference in the sound. There's the first one out. Negative is towards me. This is the negative side here. And the board's marked, so pretty easy to get them the right way. Okay, there's one. There's the other one out. Okay, we'll plug the board back in and see whether it's made any difference to the phono preamp. The nice thing about these plugs is they're all keyed, right? So only unplug from one place. Line up the switches, or line up the controls with the switches. So that's the tape input or the auxiliary input. Let's see how the phonos sound now. Are we getting noise? I don't hear any noise. See? Oops, spoke too soon. Sounds like we have a noisy transistor is what it sounds like. Let's just see whether we can find it. It's gonna be fun on this board because I can't test it. I can't pull the board out and test it. I have to test it in circuit. So we gotta figure out which is the left and which is the right. Might help if I sound the right input. Aha! Watch the scope when you hear the sound. Watch it. You hear that pop, that jumped around. You see? There's our noise. We have a bad transistor in this circuit. And I'm narrowing it down with my scope to where it might be. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea where I'm looking at here. I'm right down in this area, right on the board here where I put this mark. This is where I've put the scope probe and it jumps all over the place. So I can't see the transistors obviously because the unit is together, which is a problem with this design, is that you can't actually see the damn transistor, and I don't even know if I'm on a transistor. That's just the area of the board where it was acting up. So we'll pull the board out again and we'll look at the transistors in there, and maybe I'll be able to test it with my meter and find one that's not looking to spec. There shouldn't be many of them in there. There's probably only 2 or 3. Okay, yeah, there's like 3 of them. So this is the area of the board here that I'm looking at, and where I had my meter was right in here. So one of these transistors here is probably the one that's at fault. I think I just figured out about this is that I can't operate it when it's out. The power is actually supplied through this connector, so I can test this board with it out. So, cold spray. We got a bad transistor, obviously. Let's hit it with some cold spray and see whether, when I hit a specific transistor, because that noise is showing up throughout the entire circuit. It doesn't matter what transistor I scope. With the scope, I'm seeing that noise through the entire circuit. So it could be the first stage transistor that I'm testing and it's going through the rest of them, or it could be any of the other ones backfeeding. So we're going to get the cold spray. We'll just try to isolate and see if I hit one that goes crazy when I hit it with cold spray, then chances are that's the one that's at fault. So here's my cold spray can. Okay, spray away. Heat. Oh, I think it's that one. As soon as I put a little bit of heat on that transistor, noise came up right away. How about this one? See? Heating those ones don't do anything. As soon as I put heat on this one, it got noisy. We'll cool this one again. I think I'm almost out of coolant. I'm gonna have to get some more duster. Pretty sure it's that one. That's TR406. For you guys at home keeping score. Pretty sure it's that one. Let's clip the scope to it and just take a look at what it's doing. Okay, we're clipped to that. Ah, yeah. I think we can say that we probably have a problem with this transistor here. Okay, now I gotta find a replacement. So that transistor is a 2SC1345. Let's look that one up in my NTE cross-reference program. There we go. It's great. Smartphones are great. Okay, it's a 2SC 1345. And that's replaced with an ECG or an NTE 199. We'll see if I can find something that's equivalent to that. So the transistor crosses to an NTE 199, which is just a high gain, low noise silicon transistor. So I have another one here that's pretty close. So we'll try this one. Basing might be a little different on it, but we'll try swapping that out for this other transistor and see whether that makes a difference. So let's get the old one out of the board. Just bending some stuff out of the way here so that I can remove it. Batteries have a habit of dying at the most inappropriate times, don't they? Okay, let's get the new transistor in place. And look at the basing of this thing. Straighten up my leads a bit here on the replacement. Okay, emitter base collector. I'm going to put it in this way. Emitter base collector. Okay, new transistors installed. We'll plug the board back in. Again, I don't have to do the full install of this board, I just have to plug the power in. If it stays nice and quiet, power it up, then got it. Okay, it's got power. Now we just wait and see if it sputters and crackles and pops. If it doesn't, I'll put the unit back together. Because the unit's connected to the power amp now. And it's got power. Don't hear any noise. It's a good sign, because it would have been doing it by now. I hear the hum, because I don't have any inputs plugged into it. But no sputtering. Therefore, I think I can say with pretty high confidence that the problem is solved. So let's reconnect the board. I'm curious how many thumbs down this video is going to get from the losers out there on the internet. Okay, sure as hell someone's going to find a reason to thumbs down this video. Okay, power on. We'll play some music. Try that now. Okay, we got music, so we know the amp's working. Let's just put it in phono mode. Don't hear any noise. Ultimate test. I'll hook up a turntable. Shall we do that? I think we shall. Just gonna put the cover back on here. We'll turn off the power to do that, because I don't need any sparks, if you know what I mean. Okay, cover's back on. I'm going to grab a turntable and we'll hook that up.
This record has been skillfully crafted by British comedians using ancient, well-worn classical hand-tooled jokes. It has been specially designed to sit at the back of your record collection amongst the old Frank Sinatra albums, to be brought out and split up when you get divorced.
I think it works.
Any complaints about the humorous quality of this album should be addressed to British Airways,
of course, it's
Kingdom's Drive.
Monty Python, right? So... I would say that it works. Oh boy.
Like Chinese, they only come up to your knees. Light. Oh, right, thank you. These are the forces. This is the power that drop.
This is one of my turntables. I got this given to me. I'm kind of hanging on to it because, well, it's an Akai direct drive turntable. It's got a good Shure cartridge on it. Actually, a very good sound, this thing. I've got a Technics SLM1 that I use, and this is my backup one. So this thing's working. I can get this thing out of here now. Make the owner of this real happy.
Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit in your face and tell you I love you too.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'm going to be cutting that down so no more than 9 seconds goes anyway. But we're all done here. This one is fixed. Another one that I can send out. Another happy customer that's got a nice piece of equipment. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.